Okay, hello everybody. I'm Katarn, and this is a guide on how to speedrun Jedi Outcast. So this game, the main way you gain speed in it is through strafe jumping. I'll do a very quick tutorial on that. Also, there's a lot of console commands you have to use. So the first one that I always have to use at the start of every run is I change my FOV. So that's just CG FOV. I use 110. It just makes it easier to see a little bit, and it does make it look a little bit faster. It's user's choice. So you want to use either WA or WD, and then move your mouse to the left if you're using WA, or to the right if you're using WD. And like as you see, my speed is in the center of the screen there. It'll just slowly go up as long as you have the right angle. By default, your walking speed is just 250, and if you jump and look right while strafing, your speed just goes up. Same thing if you go to the left. And so the key for it is just finding the right angle. And you could just keep building up speed as long as you just keep jumping. And you don't have to time the jump. As long as you press spacebar before you hit the ground, the jump will go off. So to help with that, assuming you have the speedrun client installed, you can find that on speedrun.com on the Jedi Outcast website. But yeah, there is like a strafe helper option here, which is what I used when I first got started. You can't use this in an actual run. Like you can't have this on during a run. As long as your cursor is in this green box, whenever you move, you're gaining speed. Now, the other thing you should mess with is your sensitivity settings. So, in the console, just sensitivity. Mine is 2, the default is 5. But my mouse is a 2000 DPI mouse. So, you can go like 1.1, 1.2. You can do decimals as well. 2 just ended up being what was best for me. The faster the better, because if you want to keep getting up speed, you want to be able to switch between these angles as fast as you can. So like when I switch from strafing left to strafing right, I want to be able to switch immediately over, because in that time when I'm in the middle here, I'm not gaining any speed. So that's why higher sensitivity is better. It also means you don't have to like move your mouse and stuff when you're doing long chains and stuff like that. Like if I'm chaining really long to the right, which you do in a couple places, I don't have to pick up my mouse and adjust it or anything. So something I want to go over real quick is something called a circle strafe or a circle jump. What you'll hear a lot of runners reference. It's essentially it's just like a flick of the wrist when you're doing your initial jump. So the steps to do it is you want to like hit the max ground movement speed. So basically move forward a little bit. Turn at the optimal rate, like the frame, like right before you jump or any number of frames before, and then jump. It's essentially used to just get like a huge speed boost as soon as you start jumping. Versus like if you were to just walk forward and try to get into the right angle from the start. It's really useful for like when you don't have a lot of room to just kind of build up speed and you want to just get a big boost right off the bat. So one good example of this is here on Narshada Hideout with this little box jump here, which we'll go over a little bit later. But it's one example where you don't have a lot of room to jump, and you need to just get all the height and speed you need to get up there in only one jump. And so to do that, you have to do a circle strafe essentially. Just like that. So I think that's all I really need to know for like strafing to get you started. So circle jumps are used for when you need to go 90 degrees, essentially. You need to get a lot of height and speed, or just one jump. And strafing in general, you just need to practice getting like the right angle and just getting as much speed as you can as you're jumping. So I will mention there's a lot of tutorials and stuff you can find online on like Quake 3 and other games. Also other Jedi Outcast and Academy tutorials too. Any resources that I make use of in this video I will link. Like for example, there's one on like a Quake 3 circle strafing video I will link in the description. So you can check that out when you're ready. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started on Key Jump Post. So there's another bind you should set up. I just use F8. So if I just type bind F8, it'll show what it's set to. So you do bind F8 and you do load auto key jump post. It's important you do auto and not just key jump. You could just do load key jump post. You could do like mat key jump posts, but that it kind of works the same. But the rules say you have to use auto key jump post, and that basically just loads the auto save you have for the level. And you should do that anytime you're practicing any individual level. So like right now, I think I have F7 is set to artist topside because that's the last map I was practicing. So yeah, use your binds. That's how you bind keys. You can also bind saving. So like I have it set, so bind F1 is load and bind F2 is save. So if I want to load a manual save somewhere, like this is my last one I had set up.
Perimeter defenses are too strong.
You can do that, and that works differently than the quick save, quick load. But you should also set your quick save, quick load to something, because you do use quick save and quick load a lot. It's even used for certain tricks. So if you go to controls, I have mine set to mouse 4 and mouse 5, which is just these two buttons here. It's hard to show you. And so like I can quick save and quick load like with one little movement, kind of like this, whenever I need to. And that's used for certain tricks. Like you can use it to walk through tripwires and stuff. But let's just get started here.
Did you hear? I think I saw someone.
So the first set of jumps you have to do is you want to jump like around here, and you kind of want to slide up this wall and jump on top of that platform up there. So it's much easier to do if you do it from the start. So if I just go like this, and you can also crouch to make it a little bit easier. There's a lot of crouch jumping in this game. Some people call it ledge grab. I call it crouch jumping, but you crouch and you can increase your hitbox a little bit and get on top of boxes. The other way of doing this is what Lifeless does in his record. He jumps up there and then he does a crouch jump onto one of these things. That's a lot harder to do. I can't even do it, as you can see. So I would just... And this might take you a little bit to get used to. It took me a while to figure out this jump here. But yeah, you kind of just want to jump right about here and just slide up the wall. You need to have a little bit of speed going to do it. But that's the first jump of the game. Anyway, once you get up there, you would kind of want to shoot like around those pillars there. Because you want to skip this guy's dialogue. You want to get his aggro on you, basically. Oh, he died. Anyway. Because if you don't... He goes into a sequence where he like walks around the corner, and then he sees Jan, and he just starts shooting Jan, and she dies. She dies within like 30 seconds, and then the level ends if she dies. So it's important to skip the dialogue. You can like shoot backwards and get his aggro even if the dialogue does happen, but honestly, it's easier to just reset the level if that happens. So yeah, it'll take a bit of practice. You just have to get used to shooting at the right angle. I usually just shoot twice just to be sure. Anyway, so you do a couple jumps there. And so the next thing you want to do is you want to jump into one of these windows here. You can jump in any of them. You could even go around to the other side, and like there's one you can just walk in over there, but like it's not that hard to jump into these. So you jump from that cliff. You can jump off this one if you want to, and then land on this bridge thing here. And I usually do a quick save here just to practice it. But usually the first window is the easiest. So just jump into this window, and you could do any of them. You could do the second one if you wanted to. Yeah, so you can jump into the second one if you want to. And that actually skips most of the level. There's two ways you can go through. There's like a trigger around here somewhere. If you touch it, I'll go ahead and touch it for you right now. These guys always spawn, but these two troopers will spawn. You can like jump over this one and everything if you want to. It's not a big deal. So you can kind of walk around the edge here and you won't hit it. The other option is when you're up here, you can shoot the glass and then jump through that. Either way works. Otherwise, you just kind of jump through this level like this. Jump up the stairs. Take this elevator. Press this button. Don't bump into walls, ideally. You press that button, and this is pretty much the end of the level. And so now you just need to memorize these codes. So you need to press, for this one I try to hit the left and the right, like you kind of just aim in the middle, and you hit them at the same time. And then you hit this one 2 more times. So 0, 1, 3, 0, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. So there's me doing it fast.
Jan, prep the ship for takeoff. I just want to
and you just crash into this door, and that's the end of the first level. Okay. So then you just you can charge your shot. You can shoot this guy in the head, or you can shoot him down here. Either way will kill him instantly. You get his key, you get his gun, unlock the door. And it's just more strafing through hallways, so you hit this button. Shoot the glass. Press this button right here. You don't need to press both of them. And then you want to do a jump onto this platform. Like so. You can do it much faster than that, but you can even do it while the platform is still moving. And I'm just going slow here to show you. And you do a crouch jump into that, and then you want to jump through here. And land on this platform over here. Shoot this button. That'll open this bridge. Go over here, hit this button. And then you can just kind of jump through here in the hole. This tunnel, there's a couple ways of doing it. I just kind of jump through it like that. This little ledge here, you can just, like, if you can either jump up here, you can go over to the side here and do one jump there. I try to go like here, because if you jump on this thing, you can just do one little hop and get up there. Tiny little optimization. But then you go over here, kill this guy, take his key, open the door, do some more jumping, shoot this barrel, get through the vent. Ideally, I would have more health here. Okay, so I want to go into a little bit more detail on this trick here. So this is where you have to, like, there's this cutscene that happens here with this door. It's kind of a cutscene where, like, the trooper set up a mine, the door opens, and the mine blows up. And, like, you can kind of skip over that a little bit. You can do it in one of two ways. You can quick save, quick load as you're going through the door, and depending on how well you do it, you'll get kind of launched with the mines. You'll take some health damage. Ideally, you want to take no damage, or very little damage. And so, like, depending on how you approach the door and how you do the quick save, quick load, like, you can take different amounts of damage. And so I'll show you how it happens when you do sound stop. So I have a sound stop hotkey, like that. It sounds like that. It sounds horrible. What that is, it's another bind you're allowed to use. Mine is bound to 0, which I have re-hotkeyed to my DPI button on my mouse. So I just hold that down, and it kind of just skips all the dialogue, all the audio in the game, really. But what we're using it for here is skipping this dialogue. And so you can use that, which will also open the door a little bit faster. And you can even skip the quick save, quick loading if you want. Lifeless does both a sound stop and a quick save, quick load in this part, which I can try to show right here. Like that. Just like that. And so, ideally you want to not bump into this wall and everything, and then you just continue on through here. When you get to this room here, shoot the glass, run through all these troopers, hopefully they don't get in the way. You shoot this explosive barrel here, you press the button. And I usually jump on top of that box and try to jump on these boxes, and then you just go left and hopefully nobody gets in your way. It's a little bit RNG, the troopers can sometimes just, like, get in your way, and they all want to give you handshakes and meet the famous pal Katarn, but that's the gist of that. Crouch to that door. Depending on how much health you have, you might want to pick up this health pack as you go through this. I have 30, that should be enough. You just take one tick of damage. You grab his key, you go through here, you take the mouse droid. There is a way to skip this, which is something I'm going to go over at the end. All of the more difficult tricks that Lifeless does that I don't do, I'm definitely going to go through at the end of the video, because they only save a couple seconds, and they are cool, but for a beginner, they're not really worth doing. Anyway, that's the end of this level. You just kind of just shoot the things as you go out, and that should be good. Okay. So, this level. There is a trick you can do by loading into this cutscene, but we'll talk about that later. You kind of just get started here. There is a sequence that starts right at the start of the level. There's a minecart that moves. So, you kind of just want to do a big chain like that. Let me restart the level here. So yeah, if you jump on this box here, you don't take any damage when you fall. So if you want to try to aim through that, if possible. There is an option here. There is a bowcaster down here you can grab. It's not entirely necessary. But it is there if you have time. I usually don't grab it myself, because there's one you get on a later level. You don't actually need it. It saves like half a second if you decide to grab it. So, anyway. So jumping across the canyon again. It's a very complicated chain there. You'll just have to practice it. Just get enough speed, kind of jump off the edge of the platform there, and you can make it. You jump through here, grab those bactas if you can, and just jump all the way through here. And you can shoot these workers if you want. You don't have to. You can jump over just put and everything if you want. Grab these trip mines, that's very important. And then you jump up here, and you can kind of just jump up here. And as soon as this thing is done flashing red, this minecart will appear, and you can just crouch jump onto it like that. Yeah, so then you're just waiting here. You can skip this entire sequence. There is a trick for that. I will show that towards the end. But you kind of just wait for it. If you sit in this corner, and you wait till like the part gets to about there, you can do a double jump and get up here without having to wait for it to turn and everything, and it's really slow. Sometimes I fail that. It takes a little bit of practice to do that, but
I have a bad feeling about
That saves a couple seconds, so you don't have to wait for it to turn or anything. And you can just kind of, through these crab tunnels, just jump to the right. Just always go right, basically. There's a little bit of optimization you could do here by just knowing where the crabs spawn, so you can just kind of jump around them, but it doesn't matter too much. Then you press this thing. The crabs will keep chasing you. One thing you can do, you can kind of just, once you hit activate it, just go around like that, and they kind of just stop. Or you can just shoot them as they come in, like they die pretty quickly. Anyway, when you go down here, save right here. There's one little trick you can do through this door that'll save a couple seconds. It's totally optional, because normally you have to go through here, you have to wait for this to go down. And then you have to shoot the trooper, and then you can get up. The other option, so you can do a little chain through the door, and kind of land up there like that and skip the whole first cycle of the elevator. It saves a couple seconds. Sometimes this guy will get in the way when you do that. Not much you can do about that. Usually if I quick save, quick load down here, he moves differently and that works out. But yeah, you kind of just want to get through this door with as much speed as possible and kind of slide up this little ledge here. Now to give you height, you can jump up there. You can also jump off the guy's head as well. I just find that to be a little bit less consistent. Yeah, so you can kind of jump off that guy's head as well. That's another option, if that's easier for you. So once you do that, switch to your trip mines that you picked up earlier, and just kind of place them wherever you think is best. I kind of put one there, I put one there, and then I put one there. Sometimes it kills all of them, sometimes not. You basically need to kill all the troopers in this area, and all the officers as well. Usually this guy is the one that always survives for some reason. And try to grab these Bactas as you're planting the mines, if you can. Then you press this button, skip the cutscene. And over here is like the second quick save, quick load trick that you have to do. So for this, you kind of just wait till your cursor moves over this line here. And then you quick save, and you quick load. And as you can see, I kind of slide up the hill a little bit when I do that. So then you just crouch and you move left as you're at the top of the ramp there, and you'll just hit it. I do want to add real quick that there is a keybind you can use to make this trick a little bit more consistent. I don't use it personally, but some people say it's easier for them. There's a bind called Center View, which if you press it, it just centers your view back to the horizontal pretty much, which you can use to make this trick here a little bit more consistent. So you hit Center View, and then you move your cursor up, and then you can do the quick save, quick load like that. And it just works. By default, I think it's bound to end Center View, but that's how you spell it. And this is the end of the level. Like, once you press that button back there, like, this is the end. And if you hit the left side of this thing, the turrets won't shoot you on the way out, ideally, but they shot me twice there. I kind of have no health now, so I'm just going to use Bacta. Ideally, you would have more health here, but I'm explaining everything, so... so that's another trick right there, is if you jump off this trooper's head, like, you kind of go to the side of the lamp here, crouch, and you can jump on him twice. It's a little bit faster if you do it once, but I just do it twice. It's easier. And then you get on top of this lamp, and then you hold E, press space, and hit crouch as at the top of your thing. You can just spam crouch, and you'll hit the button through the roof here. Because otherwise normally you have to, like, wait for this thing to fall. You have to climb up here. It's very awkward. This is the way it was done for a long time, actually, too. Then you hit the button. Or you could just do the trick I just showed you, where you jump off that trooper's head. It's a little bit... It'll take a little bit of practice, but it's actually pretty easy, I feel like, anyway. So just jump, crouch. You can use Control or C. I think by default, crouch is C. I have it bind to Control as well. You can use either. And just get on that lamp. Press the button. Easy. Just run to the end of the hallway here. That'll cut this door to open here. Go over here. Very important, you grab both of these things here. Press the button. If you didn't grab the bowcaster earlier, you can grab it there. Shoot this one trooper, because he usually gets in the way. And just kind of run through this whole section here. There's a trick to jumping up those stairs faster. You kind of just have to press space really fast. I'm not that great at it, but you can watch Lifeless or somebody else do it, and they're probably much faster than me. But yeah, you can kind of go up here. The health packs I'm picking up are optional. You don't have to pick them up. I just do it because I'm usually low on health at this point in the game. And there's another trick here I will go over later on in the run, where you can jump off detention droids and skip like a whole sequence. I'm not going to show that right now, though. Okay, so you go over here, press this button, and you run back down. Nothing much complicated going on here, it's just strafing. Alright. And so now we're at the first part of the game, we have to use sound stop. So, as you can see, he's not saying anything, because I pressed the button on my mouse. Which saves a tiny bit of time. So it's just bind any key. Mine is 0, which is on my mouse, is sound stop. So just bind 0, sound stop. Bind it to something that's convenient for you. For me, the mouse, I have it on my DPI button, and my DPI button is set to 0. So that's what I use for that. And so it'll make this really bad crackling sound if you hold it down, but a lot of the times you can just tap it and it'll skip dialogue. But it is easier to just hold it down for some people, so... Anyway, so you come out here. Also, when you're doing that cutscene, you can check how many Bactas you have, and there's 2 out here if you really need them. I happened to use them earlier, so I'm going to grab them, but you usually don't need to. So you go up here, do whatever chain you can do to get past these guys, and you jump into this vent. Let's do some jumps to get through that. Alright, so here's the next trick, is you want to land on this platform right here. Go into third person, get yourself up to at least 96 health, and then you go to the left here, crouch, and kind of push yourself into that wall up there. Let me see if I can do it again for you. So anyway, go third person, get yourself up to at least 96 health, and you want to like push yourself into this like kind of divot here, into the wall, because there's a grate down there. If you land on it, you'll have just enough health to survive if you do a roll. And to do a roll in this game, you just crouch when you're landing, and there has to be enough space in front of you so that you can do the animation. And it just happens to work here. And rolling reduces your fall damage, which is why we do this. So you'll be down to 5 health. I usually use 2 Bactas here just to get myself back up to 55-ish. Kill these head crabs. Not head crabs. It's not half crabs. Mine crabs. And go through these tunnels. Good rule of thumb with these ones, just always go left, with one exception. When there's going to be like a big turn here, I'll show you when we get to it. Yeah, this big turn here where you go completely around. Go to the right after that, but then you can just keep going left the whole time. Yeah, little optimizations you can do to just, if you just know where the crabs spawn, you can just kind of run around them. That's something I need to practice myself. Yeah, just run through the tunnels. Nothing special there. Over here, grab these shields. I usually like to blow up like some of these troopers and stuff with either my mines or the detonators. The only thing you really need to kill is the mine crabs that show up, because they will chase you. They will bother you. So over here, press this button. And then as you go through this door here, hold down the sound stop key. It'll skip all the dialogue where you're like, I need you to release some prisoners or something like that. And then you can kind of watch him. As you watch him, he'll move. But you can kind of watch him and then back up and grab 2 Bactas back here if you need to. Doesn't lose any time to grab him, so you might as well. But yeah, this is just a slow section of just watching this guy the whole time. Not much to it. Sometimes the troopers can get in the way. And if they do get in the way, make sure like you kill them in one hit. You can kill them in one hit with either shooting them in the legs or the head. I usually just go for the legs because it's much easier on Padawan difficulty anyway. They just die in one hit. As long as you kill them in one hit, none of the rest will shoot back. If you don't kill them in one hit, I'll quick save real quick and show you. If I shoot them, then they all start shooting you, and it's just really annoying. So, if you do have to kill them in one hit. But anyway, just follow this guy. What I usually like to do is I go here. I don't go past the edge there. And then I back up. Okay, that guy got in the way. And I go back here, and I just watch him for a little bit till he gets past those troopers up there. Because if they notice you and they start running down, sometimes they get in the way. It's just kind of, you just kind of have to deal with it. Grab the health here. No reason not to. I see they got in the way there. It's just kind of... You gotta play with it, see what works best. Anyway, so you go over here. You want to switch to your jetpacks right now. Ideally, I would have done that like 6. You don't want to make sure he doesn't take any damage either. Like just like that, and kill this last crab because it's gonna try to bite him. Because if he takes damage, you have to wait for him to walk all the way to the button. But there's a little trick here you can do to speed it up a little bit. Basically, as soon as he turns, plant a mine down with right click, and he'll get launched right to the button. You can also sound stop here to make him go a little bit faster. Switch to your bowcaster, jump through this door, hit the mine, crouch jump over that little platform. For some reason this stops you right here, that little tiny ledge. And just finish the level. Now as soon as this level starts, you want to hit vid restart. So this is the next trick binding I need to show you guys. This loads you into the cutscene, which you can use to like do special things. It is allowed in the run, because I think, like, what is it, like alt space or something, or alt enter? Anyway, the reason why that's allowed is because it is like a default hotkey that's just in the game by default. So, and you can bind it to a key. Mine is bind to tab. Bind caps lock. Mine is bound to tab, but you can bind it to whatever you want. So anyway, let me restart this level here. So you do this, and you do your vid restart bind, load into the cutscene, and you immediately want to turn left and shoot this turret like 5 or 6 times. Ideally before the cutscene ends. I think I skipped a little bit too much of it. Turn to the left, switch to your bowcaster, shoot this 5 or 6 times until it starts glowing red. And then there's a new complicated jump you can do here. It's the I'm on it jump. So you can get up this hill. You want to slide up this hill right here. I'll try to show it to you. Me actually doing it.
I'm on it.
And just like that, you get up the hill. It's gonna take a bit for people to learn this, especially if you're new. I had to practice it for like 5 or 6 hours before I could get it once. It's really hard to do. So just practice it, really. I'll try to show it again real quick. I just do like 4 hops, and I make the last one like kind of at the edge of the of this like intersection here. Like I kind of move my mouse to the right a little bit, and I get a little bit of speed going, and I just kind of do 1, 2, 3, 4 hops, and make sure the last one is like there. And most of the time, I'm able to make it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It works. You're gonna just have to practice this. It's gonna take a while to learn. Posto says you want to gain enough speed to convert your speed when gliding up on this ramp. Yeah. I think Lifeless, you do like 3 jumps, don't you? Or like you do this. You like move forward when you're shooting or something like that. I do 4. If you want, you can do sound stop here, skip some of Jan's dialogue. It'll make the turret blow up faster, the cutscene ends faster. Just depending on how you do it, Kyle will like jump into you, which is less than ideal. So if you, that's optional. It only saves like 2 seconds. So now I got to restart the level because I messed it up. But yeah, smashed it 3-2. Okay. It's easier for me to just do 4. So once you get up here, wait for the turret to come back, and you turn around immediately and shoot this ATST before he kills all the prisoners. Turn around and kill this one. Okay, then you're done with that. Normally you have to like, there's a whole sequence you have to go up this elevator and like kill waves of troopers, and then the ATST spawns. For some reason, when you kill this in the cutscene, it makes this ATST spawn earlier, and it respawns, which just saves so much time. Like, so I kind of feel like this trick is kind of mandatory. So you kind of just gotta practice it until you can get that slide up the cliff. It's very hard to do, but it's just gonna take some practice. Where's mouse right skip guide? I want to do it consistently. That's coming. That's coming. I'll do that too. So the next trick I'm gonna show you is optional. You don't have to do this. But once you get off this turret, you can kind of jump. You can jump from here immediately if you're good enough. And you jump here and you go left and you start strafing around over there. And then there's a quick save quick load you do over there to kind of slide up that cliff so you can skip an elevator sequence. What I usually do, because I'm not as good at strafing, is I kind of go over here to this corner, and I start the jump sequence from there. And you want to get like over 700 speed off the cliff there. So I just do the jump from here. And as long as you're doing a forward-facing slope, you'll get speed there. Ideally, you want to get at least 1,000 speed, so that when you hit this ledge here, and you do a quick save, quick load at, like, the exact right point, you start sliding up it just like this. I'm going to cut to, like, an actually good run of that real quick here.
Kyle, the perimeter defenses are too strong. You have to do something about those ions.
So there's a good attempt at that. And then you kind of just do this chain here. If you don't make the slide, you could just take the elevator, so you just kind of run over here. And this is probably what you should do from the start. This is also a good chance to do Bactas if you want to. Don't use too many, though, because you actually do want to have low health at the end of this run. But I'm going to start from up here on the hill from the slide, because that's what I try to do on runs. So just do a chain here, get around all these platforms and everything, and get to the last turret. Ideally, you can jump straight into it, but it doesn't really matter. And kill this last ATST over here with it. You know it's dead when your crosshair turns white instead of red. And so kill this guy if you can, and then make sure you have enough health and just jump down here. You can hit the ATST to take less damage and kill this officer. Jump through here. Your health doesn't matter too much on this level. You kind of want it to be low at the end anyway, but you can grab this health if you need it. Hit that button. Head back out. Hopefully people don't get in your way. And just kind of wait for these elevators. My health is a bit low. I might actually die. Anyway, you take this elevator, you charge your crossbow. You can shoot these guys if you want to, but just kind of jump back around. Hopefully you killed this guy earlier. If not, kill him there. Then kill these turrets. That's pretty much it. And lifeless and Mr. Lay are trolling me right now. And that's pretty much the end. This is kind of like a good amount of health to have here. Just jump around here. Okay.
Also, Kyle, I've got some trouble here.
And just kind of jump through these mines. Pull out your blaster rifle. And skip this cutscene and make sure you don't move. And just shoot this guy until the level ends. And then skip cutscenes and all that good stuff. And that's pretty much that level. So do sound stop here. You skip his whole dialogue. And just kind of run through this. Take this elevator. Nothing special here. I kind of like to do a little jump here. It saves a tiny bit of time. We don't need to. Yeah, very important cutscene load here. So I'll do another vid restart as soon as this door opens. And when you do this, make sure you walk into this room a little bit, because that'll do a trigger that opens the door downstairs. Which you need to have open so you get to the end of the level. It's this door right here. But yeah, just kind of run through this as best as you can. Yeah. So there's a couple of different ways to do this next level. I'm gonna do a manual save here, which for me is F2, and then you kind of just walk through this. So I'll show you the slow way of doing it first. So you just run through here, you do the whole push puzzle thing. When you get fast, you're not going to want to do this anymore, but when you get started, like, I don't even remember what the combo is here. Let me quick save. It's 2, 3, 5 in the last one, I think? No? Yeah, 2, 3, 5 in the last one. And you can do this room faster, but in the end you're not going to do it. So I'm just going to do it by 2. I think you can pull like 3 and jump to a third one if you want to, but I don't do this room anymore. And I'll show you why in just a minute. So then you get up to speed. So that's all that whole sequence you can skip. So I'll show you why. So if I go back to this previous level, which I made the manual save for, and redo it. And so like what you can do is you stay on the top of that tunnel, right? There's a couple ways to get into it. You can either like you jump over here, and you could do a whole like chain like this way, and do like a quick save, quick load to try and like slide up into it. Oh. Oh, I did it. For me, it's much easier to just reload the previous level, and you hold left backwards and crouch at the same time. So let me just get an actual run here. It's a little bit RNG because like sometimes you can't actually move backwards in it, but if you do that and you slow down enough, you can then like spam jump and head backwards into the tunnel like I just did. So let me just do it one more time. And you'll also notice as I'm doing this, like live split is automatically, because I have the auto splitter set up, it's just automatically advancing my times, giving me all kinds of golds. So you're gonna want to make sure like for me it's numpad 3, like whenever you get a chance to undo all those fake splits. If you're doing this trick and you failed a bunch of times like I just did. So anyway, I failed out a bunch of times with talking to chat. So you want to get back into this tunnel, do another manual save up here. And then you kind of just do this, crouch, and then you're gonna want to like... Here, I'll just show the jump. Just like that. So just kind of strafe left a little bit. You kind of want to like 800-ish speed, 750. It depends on how your PC as well. But the goal is, you go over here, you crouch so you don't land on this, and you want to quick save, quick load about here-ish. So then you'll do a fancy slide up this ramp and get straight to 4 speed. And so like this attempt actually might work. Like it's hard to do. It's going to take you a lot of practice to get this down. Something you can do sometimes is you can use the arrow keys, the actual arrow keys in the keyboard. And as you're loading, tap them. Just tap it. And as you can see, I got a bunch of extra height there. Just because when you're loading, like for some reason the arrow keys are able to move your camera. Sometimes it doesn't work. You can do left arrow key or right arrow key. Sometimes you can also just move your mouse a little bit, but it's not working this time. But I don't think this is a good attempt. I can't seem to get it. But sometimes you can salvage attempts by doing so. I'm using F9, which is the default quick load key for that. And just tapping the left arrow key as I'm loading, which just moves the camera like this. Sometimes it just doesn't work out and you have to reset the whole run. There we go. So that's what it looks like when you actually succeed at it. And you just slide up, you get speed right away. You skip the whole push and pull puzzle thing. I wouldn't recommend learning that until you're a bit better at the game, but it's not that difficult once you get used to it. You jump down here. Hit the button. And then you so you can you wait for this. You can you don't have to wait for it to completely depress. Like right about there is good. And you just jump down this hallway. And so there's 2 different versions of this trick. I'm going to show the harder version of it to start with, because that is the one that I know and the one that I do. But there is an easier version I will show right after this. So first things first, when you're setting this up, you want to stand about here, right where I'm at, and you want to make sure you get this set up as fast as possible, ideally before this door even closes. Because if you're here and the door starts closing as you're doing your jumps, it could easily mess you up. So you want to make sure you get to the setup as fast as possible. Again, this is the harder version of Saber Skip. If you're doing the easier version, which is not that much easier, you would stand on this side of the door. And you could probably stand on that side of the door and do the harder version of it too. But anyway, so what I like to do when I'm standing here, and make sure your quick save also has 4 speed on it, by the way. It just makes it easier to retry it when you need to, because if you watch any top runner, like, very rarely will you see somebody get this first try. It messes everybody up. It's like one of the hardest tricks in the game. But what I like to do with strafing is I kind of move my mouse over this light here, and as I pass through the doorway, I then immediately start switching. So I start strafing left, and then as I pass through the doorway, I strafe right. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that right here. And you get it just like that. You want to make sure your last jump is kind of on the edge of this this raised pillar here, raised platform here. And then you can make the jump real easily, just like that. And just kind of land on the edge of this platform. Quick save as soon as that happens. Once you're up here, there is a key a special key on your keyboard, I think by default it's V, called sidestep, which lets you move just a tiny bit using your mouse without using any of the directional keys. For me, it's V. And so you can kind of just use that and move your mouse backwards a little bit, and then the cage will rise up, and you can just walk in and grab your lightsaber. As Kyle is talking, it's very important you press L, or whatever your key is for switching saber style, because then for some reason at that point you can switch to light blue. Okay, so you switch to light blue, and you can do silent stop there if you want to, skip that dialogue. But it's important you switch to blue style there, because this is the only point you can get it. Like, it's an early way to get blue style, like, early on in the game. But you just throw your saber, kill these pillar things. Don't miss.
I must almost be done with this thing.
And that's the end of the level. Okay, let's go back now and show the easier version. It's only used in, like, 2 spots in the run currently. Where you can switch your FPS, the server, like... The back-end FPS, essentially, is what it's called. The reason why we use 125 is just it makes a lot of things... It makes strafe jumping and everything a lot easier. But 20 is also a valid option. So you can change the FPS via console. So you can just change it to 20. You can't do this in a run. Like, you cannot open the console in a run, but what you can do is do a set of bind to it. So bind, like, U, for example, to SV_FPS 125. And do, like, I to 20. And so you want to, like, before the start of this level, press I, which for me is FPS 20, which will set on the next level reload to set it to 20, which is very important for a certain trick, which I'm going to show you in just a second. So to do this trick, the easier version of saber skip with 20 FPS, you get down to the end of the hallway here, you stop here, you quick save there, and use force speed, and you want to make sure you get to this pillar here, like, as fast as you can. Okay, so for the easier version of saber skip, my setup is not ideal here. I got here a little bit late, but the door is not going to open just in time. It's not necessarily easier. It's also slower because this one requires force push, which the other version of it does not require. And so that's the main reason why it's slower. You also have to switch the FPS down to 20 in order for this to work. Because if you're at 125 FPS and you push this pillar, it will kill you, no matter what you do. Yeah, so the strafing for this is more or less the same. You want to... I kind of do the same thing. I just kind of move my crosshair over this light as I'm strafing to the right. And as I get through the door, I then start switching to strafing left. And you kind of... Instead of this time trying to jump off the pillar at the end, you kind of just want to land and walk onto the support beam that you're trying to pull up. Which you pull up by pushing. But yeah, that's the gist of this trick. You also notice, like, when I have a quick save with force speed like this and 20 FPS, it makes it feel a little bit laggy. That's normal. That's just how it has to be. But this trick is actually harder for me because you have to do this whole thing with the push and then you have to crouch onto it. And so that makes it more difficult. And if you don't do it fast enough, you end up dying. Yeah. So in a way, it's harder. So there, I finally got it. Also, with either version of the trick, if you are in, like, the exact middle of this hole here, like in this corner, the cage will actually still keep rising, and so that's something that can rarely happen. Just to let you know. Yeah, so you quick save once you get up here, and then you can do the usual sidestepping thing, switch to saber style, and that's it. That's the end of the level for the hard version or easy version of saber skip. It's not necessarily easier, but people do. It is easier to get enough speed. Like, if you're not as good at strafing, it's easier to get enough speed to do that trick than it is the other one. And once you get better at strafing, you should just do the other version of the trick. But yeah, once you're done with that, you can switch back to 120 FPS with your other keybind, and then just end the level. That is the last place you switch FPS in a normal version of the run. The other place you do it is on Keygen Base. So anyway, with this level, just do a quick little jump sequence here. You don't have force jump yet until you get through this cutscene thing, so skip their dialogue with sound stop. There's two ways you can do this level from the start. You always want to vid restart here, and so you can just, from this point, leave the bar and, like, pull this Rhodian. You want to just pull him out to, like, just outside here. Just like that's probably fine. And so you can use him as a platform to get on top of this little doorway thing. Just like that. So then you can get up here, and then you can do the rest of the level. The other way to do it, which I guess I can show you, I have to restart the level for that. You load into this cutscene, and then the other way is you press this button as you load into the cutscene. So then you go out here, And now this guy's going to be hostile at you. You want to jump up here onto this like little tube. And you want to do... So pull, move forward, and jump at the same time. And then you can kind of strafe off of this guy onto this platform. It might take you a couple tries. It takes some practice for sure. I fail it pretty frequently, as you can see. But that is the faster way to do it. The problem with doing it this way is like when you're in a cutscene, people can't shoot as you as well. You can take damage, but the snipers are going to miss their shots a lot more. But when you press the button and all that, it's kind of like skipping the cutscene, and then so now you can take damage and everything. It kind of sucks. But anyway, once you're up here, regardless of which version of it you use, you jump over here, just like so. Come through here, pull this box, get on the lift, push the box, pull your saber out if you want to. You can kill this guy, get his bowcaster. You don't have to. And you jump up here. And so there's a couple different ways of doing this jump up here. This is the easy way that I do, is I jump over here to this corner. You quick save like right there. And just kind of do a chain just like that, but actually make the jump. Like so. This is a very hard jump to do. It will take you a lot of tries. One thing you can do to make it easier is if you time the Rodian, right, you can jump off his head and get a little extra height. Just like I did there. And you want to make sure you do jump cancel. That's very important. Because when you jump, force jump to level 1, it kind of cuts off your height a little bit. Unless you, like, release the key before you hit the max height of your jump. So I usually do one jump. I do a force jump on the first one. Single jump off the second one. And then a full jump on the third one. And you got to make sure you hit that jump cancel. And then you make it onto this cart. And this pretty much goes to the end of the level. If you can't seem to do this, there's an easier way. Just go down here. You can even grab back this if you want. And hit this elevator. And just ride this up. And you can do the jump from here. But you have a little bit of extra height, and you can just make it much easier. That's much easier for you to do when you're a newbie and you can't strafe yet. But anyway, once you're on the dumpster, let me get back onto it. And if you use the grand jump, you kind of have to keep dodging bullets. I usually just kind of move my crosshair between the edges of these lines so that, you know, you don't get shot to death. It doesn't always work, but it's better than just sitting there. Luckily I have those extra Bactas, so I can just use those. Also, you gotta be careful of the cutscene ending. Because it will turn you around randomly. But you want to make sure you hit these buttons as soon as possible, so let me just do that without dying, please. Okay. Yeah, I sit on the edge of this and try to hit these as soon as you physically can, because when you push these buttons, it actually moves the cart forward faster. There is a faster version of getting through this level where you actually jump ahead of the cart, of the dumpster, which I will show later. And you push that button ahead of time, it actually zooms it forward and saves quite a bit of time. Once you start this level, hopefully you're not, like, dead. Heal up a little bit if you can. If you can, like, just jump left and jump through this grate here. Pick up these Bactas if you're really low on health, like I am. There is, like, a slightly faster way of like, you can jump off the dumpster and kind of, if you, like, you land, like, on the edge of the concrete there, like that. It's hard to do. It's not necessarily worth doing. Let me just quick save there so I can redo it. Yeah, if you can manage to land on the edge of that concrete, you can jump forward like that. So now we're here. So now you want to start, you just go to the right here. And quick save like about here. So you want to throw your saber into this little window here and just hold it down. And you kind of walk her along to the left here. What happens is, normally you have to, like, go through a whole sequence and get up there and, like, shoot an explosive thing here, which blows up this wall, which lets you get in here. But we kind of just skip that, by just throwing our saber and kind of navigating it to the explosive. So that skips a whole big part of the level there. Just jump down here. If you control your jumps well enough, you can not bump your head in the ceiling there. And skip this cutscene. This is where Lando gives us the password. And just go back where we came from. And head out this door here. Quick save about there. And so there's two ways you can do this. This is the way I prefer to do it. I actually find it easier. Is you jump on the edge of this dumpster here, and then you can use that to get in a fight so you can jump up there. That's where you want to go. So let me just see if I can do that real quick. Okay, there we go. The other way of doing it, if you fail that, is you get to this box here, and kind of set yourself up in this corner like this, and just kind of do a circle strafe up and over. So let me just do that, show that real quick. Just like that. It's a little bit easier because you can set it up. You don't have to like do a full chain. If you can't do the dumpster jump, I find the dumpster jump to be easier sometimes. But anyway, you come in here. You can hold sound stop this whole time if you want. Just come in here and pull that back to get these TDs, and then this door should be open. I did it twice, so I kind of I have to do it again. But you come through here. So this part of the run up ahead is something new that's kind of changed ever since within the last year. There is push this guy. So like you used to have to there's a cutscene here that happens. You used to have to load into it, and that like stops all the turrets so you can shoot them easier and stuff like that. Instead, what we do is we skip it, and we just jump over here. So then aim about there, hold E, full jump, and just spam crouch. Sometimes you can see there's a button up here I'm trying to press. You can kind of see it there. And you just press the button through the floor, and that skips this whole sequence. So then you just jump through here, skip this cutscene, there's Lando. Very important here is you go to the left here, and pick up this seeker drone, which you're going to use later. Doesn't cost you any time, because you have to wait for Lando to get to the elevator anyway. And also very important is wait for Lando to actually get on the elevator before you press this button, otherwise you kind of break the level a little bit and you have to wait. Yeah. So just wait here. There is like a strat here you can do, which I might edit in. Normally you just run up to this guy, you want to push him, because if you don't push him, then the thermal detonators he drops just kind of disappear. For some reason, like the weapons he drops like are invisible and they fall through the floor. Unless you push them, and in which case they fly at you and then you can pick them up. So let me show that again. So push him, then kill him. Then I actually picked up the TDs. So yeah, you just wait for Lando. There is a trick here you can do where you like wait for him to throw a detonator at you and then pushes Lando a little bit, it speeds up a little bit. I haven't practiced that yet. It's something Zetor discovered, but Meowington didn't use the strat in his PB, so no one got subbed in. So yeah, there's no rush here. You can get through here as fast as you want. Lando's gonna do a bunch of dialogue here, so you can use sound stop here, or you can just shove your saber into the wall, which does the same thing for some reason.
How's it look?
You'll notice that the dialogue gets skipped over when you put your saber into a wall. Sound stop is a little bit easier though. Okay, we just run down here. And you want to go up here and get the secret up here. Because there's 3 secret drones you get there, you get some shields, you get some trip mines, that's like everything you possibly need. And then you jump up to this roof. Jump in here, kill this guy if you want to, grab some Bactas, hit this button. You can push this glass to break it, and then what I like to do is switch to the trip mines here. You don't have to do this. And place one right here. With right click. Then switch back to your thermal detonators, do this whole sequence here. And here's the important part. When you get in here, jump on the side of the ship and don't hit the wing. And jump back here, and then you get over here and you quick save, quick load. That'll make it so all these guys spawn on this side of the hangar. You can also do a sound stop there if you want to. It works the same. And just kill all these guys. And once they're all dead, the Rodian's always the last one. Place your trip mines like this. And jump over here. And hopefully you want to get far enough before Lando's line triggers. Sometimes Lando can get stuck, like he'll be over there or something. If that happens, just like quick save, quick load a bunch of times until you hear his dialogue. You can even do it while you're in this little tunnel here. So like you can just quick save, quick load here. It didn't happen for me, so I don't need to do it. But you want to hear that dialogue of hold them off till I start them up. That means the second wave of enemies spawns in that room, and they'll get killed with the trip mines. So anyway, that's done. So go through here, you can jump on top of the ship here, pull out your gun, shoot these things, get down here. Go third person here,
So what's new?
because then you can do this fancy jump on the side of the wall. Press all these buttons. And then you come out here to the fuel tanks up here. So you want to press this one 3 times and this one twice. You just gotta remember which symbols they are. Then you go back to the ship. Town stop here, you skip the dialogue. And then you do this. Skip the cutscene. You can shoot reload on the head here, because otherwise you have to blow up his turret. Sometimes you miss, and it's okay. Doesn't really matter. Kill all the guys. And just do more sound stopping here. Skip cutscenes, and that's the end of that level. You should have hard saved an opening hangar button and redo until Lando goes wrong side to show this. Yeah, that would have been a good thing to do. I could re-record that and show Lando getting stuck if you want. I don't know. Okay, I think he's stuck now. See, I guess that's what stuck Lando looks like, because he's not moving to the side of the hangar that we want him on. Sometimes if you just wait, it works out, but if you quick save, quick load a bunch of times, sometimes he unsticks himself. Yeah, so now he's actually moving to where you want him to go, and then his dialogue triggers, and you can continue on. So, yeah, here is a good chance you can just use Force Heal, because you're just sitting here waiting anyway. There's not much you can do about it. And so there's an optional thing you can do here. As soon as you get in here, you can jump to the top of that ramp. I never do that because I don't need to, but it does save a tiny bit of time. Because if you go over here and you look up there, there is a secret you can get with a secret drone, which you don't need to do. I never do it myself, because the trick that requires that secret is very hard to pull off. So I just sit here, but that secret is there if you need it. Go do it now. I will. I'm going to show it. I'm going to do it lifeless, but not yet. Anyway, just run through this door, go to the left side, and use Force Speed here. You don't have to use Speed, but for me, it's what works consistently. Blow this up. You had to mind trick that Ugnaught. Don't think I said what I was doing there. But that's more or less that. So then you go up here, and you have to wait for that to fall, so you might as well just use the shields here while you're waiting. And Force Heal as well. But as soon as it goes down, jump out here, jump across. So there's a trick you can do to skip all this elevator sections. This is what I was talking about. It's called Underseeker, where you use a seeker drone to just jump up through the entire sequence. I will show that later. But it only saves like a couple seconds, so it's not really worth doing until you're like world record pace. Yeah, just kind of jump across these. At the last one, there's going to be a guy right here. I usually just push him so he doesn't kill me. And then you jump left here to the door. Push these guys out of the way. Hit the button. Get the shield and stuff if you can. Sometimes these guys like drop their guns and it interrupts the elevator. If they do, just like pick it up, I guess. Switch to your bowcaster here, or any gun really, so you can blow this up. And you want to quick save like towards the top of the end of this tunnel, and watch the winds here. So this one was actually kind of an ideal one. I had all 3 of them like available. And depending on the pattern you get, like sometimes you want to like force speed right away, or not. I usually look for like the first 2 to be active. But it's also not worth reloading too many times. And depending on like which pattern you get, it might be worth it to do force speed so you can catch like the 3rd one. That's only if like you get this pattern right here, where there's all 3 of them. So if you use force speed, you can get the 3rd one. But I didn't do it fast enough, so I didn't make it. Like you really have to react really fast to get that. Yeah, force speed is first 3. But don't worry too much about finessing the wins. This is the most, like, one of the most RNG parts of the run anyway. Like, you can get just god wins where you get 4 speed right away and you get all 4 of them are just active, and it's just perfect. The other thing is too, you have to make sure you land on the last platform as well. You can't just skip it. Like, you'll notice I sometimes I just skip the platform and I jump straight into the wind, like this. But don't do that with the last one. You need to make sure you land on the last platform. And first and third is usually bad, yeah. Okay, so anyway, once you're on the last platform, pull out your thermal detonators, jump up here, skip the cutscene, and move to the left here. Because otherwise he goes to the right and jumps over, and you want to make sure you hit this guy square in the face, and make sure he doesn't fall off. If he falls off, it takes him forever to die.
Strange.
And that just causes so much time loss. If you hit him directly, you can kill him with 2 grenades. If you hit him on the floor, then it takes like 3. But you want to make sure he dies up here, ideally. And then do sound stops, you skip the dialogue, and then this door opens. Push these guys. Avoid those guys, kill these guys with grenades. And then just hit this guy square in the face, and he dies instantly. And then you can ignore these guys, or kill them if you want to. Pull this droid out. Jump and pull, and then crouch and push him. When you jump and pull things, it pulls them further, and if you crouch next to things, it pushes them further. That's all there is to do with that. Not always he can fall on some platform and die fast. Oh, okay. Yeah, Lifeless knows what he's talking about. Go watch his playthrough. So anyway, I usually push that droid twice. Pick up these if you want to. And just kill this guy, and make sure you get his gun. So then you press this button. Because the repeater is like the weapon you want to use the most throughout the run. I actually have it bound to its own key and everything, too. Push this droid into the door. Ideally, you want it to be on the right side of the door. It's a quick save here. And so this is a whole sequence. You just blow up the mines, push him, blow up the mine, push him, blow up the mine, push him. And ideally, he doesn't get hit by the mines like that. Because he can die. If he dies, the level's over. There's a little boost trick you can do if, like, right before these 2 mines, save here, and, like, you blow them up and push them like this, just on the floor. Depending on the angle you get, it can work, it can not work. That was okay. Don't take damage, try to, and then just push them into the button here. That saves a little bit of time. It takes some practice to learn how to do that. You don't have to do that, you can just blow up the mines and push them normally. But now you're done with the droid, so now you come through here. And so this part, I usually manual save before this door, because you can mess this up. You blow that up, and you want to, like, push this weak way right here immediately, and jump out here. You can quick save after he's, like, this is why I manual saved, because I messed it up. But yeah, you push him immediately, before he gets a chance to move. So then you can jump up to your maximum height, pull, like this. And then you can strafe jump up on top of to the sledge, basically. And that's how you do that trick. That's going to take a lot of practice as well. Like, the key to it is, he has to be on the floor. You have to be somewhere on this ramp, ideally. He could be anywhere, like, in this area. But as long as you are on this ramp, at the max height of your jump, you do a pull. And then you can strafe jump off of his head to get onto this ledge up here. Just like that. I'm not perfect at it yet, but... Where is no pull jump guide? Okay. Lifeless wants us to show the hard version of this. So the hard version of this... you know, I'm just going to turn on no target for it. Okay, the hard version of this is you don't do all of that. You instead jump over here. And you jump on the top of the ship like that, and then you can make it up there. It's extremely hard to do. I do not recommend it, unless you're doing the individual level playthrough. Jump cancel is most important here? Okay. There you go. Okay, that was... that was difficult. That's the other version of the trick. So once you do that, what I like to do instead is I set up like right about here. You do 1, 2, 3, and then 4 kind of jumps. You just want to make sure you're jumping off the edge of the platform. Like that. Because if you jump off the edge, and as long as you're still strafing in the air as you're going over here, you'll make it. It's not that hard of a jump. It is when I mess up a lot, though, so you just gotta practice it. And you'll make it. So here is the first secret drone jump of the game, or what I've shown so far. There's another one you can do earlier on Undercity that I'm going to show later. But otherwise, this is normally the first one. So quick save like here. You want to jump and deploy your secret drone as you jump. I have mine bound to F. But you can bind it to whatever you want. It has to be a key you can press while you're jumping. So you just bind it here from the menu. You don't have to use the console if you don't want to. But yeah, so just jump and kind of, sort of like in the middle of your jump, you press your secret drone key, and then you just kind of jump off of it and you hit it twice. There's a much longer sequence later that you're gonna have to learn to do, but this one's pretty easy. You can even do it off one hop if you're good enough. It's hard to give tips on this because you kind of just have to practice it. So like whenever you spawn it, it kind of goes in a random direction. Like sometimes it goes in front of me, sometimes it just goes right underneath me, like that. Sometimes it goes behind me. But as long as you're spawning it in the air, it generally stays a good amount underneath you, so you don't have to adjust too much. And the only other tip I can think of is when you, like, this matters more for longer sequences, but do full jumps after every hop up the secret drone. Because it follows you up and it goes faster, like, the farther you're away from it, if that makes any sense. If you want to get this jump in one hop, you have to spawn the seeker as fast as, or as high as possible, as late as possible. And then you can do it in one jump. Let me see if I can do it real quick. Right about there? Yeah. There's one jump. But I would just aim for 2 jumps. That's how you get up there. So then just run past this guy, just ignore him, hit this elevator. Hopefully you have enough health at this point. Okay, anyway. Kill this officer here. Actually ran forward, which is kind of lucky for us. And here's the next level. So just kind of jump. This one's pretty straightforward. It's just a lot of hallways, just a lot of jumping over people. It's a little bit RNG, like sometimes those droids can get in the way. Anyway, you just jump up here, kill this guy, get his key. You can grab this health pack if you want to, if you need it. Doesn't cost that much time. And if you're lucky, these guys won't be in the way, in the doorway, and you can just jump through. But if not, then it's whatever. Jump through here, pull your saber back out, hit this button. And sometimes this guy, if you push him, he'll move. If not, like, it's kind of RNG. It's this button. I'm gonna quick save here just to show you. Like, this guy can get in the way a lot. Like, he has different behaviors. What I usually do is I crouch, I push him. If he gets out of the way, that's, like, ideal. But sometimes you push him, he doesn't move. So what I like to do is I crouch and I throw my saber after I push him. Because then he just dies. Most of the time. So then you just press the button, grab the other health pack if you need it. Jump over here. Hopefully you have enough health so you can survive this fall. Jump out this right door. Jump on the right side of these mines so you can potentially jump through them, or they just blow up, but they don't hit you because they're on the right side of the wall. And then the end of the level is right here. Skip this cutscene. Okay, so you quick save here. There's 2 ways you can do this fight, but either way, you have to jump on her head and crouch so that she falls like that. If you roll on her head, it's guaranteed that she's going to fall every single time. And she always moves to the right. Like, she always follows this pattern. So you can plan it out and just always get that crouch roll. And so there's 2 ways you can kill her. The way I like to do it, because it's a little bit faster, is you just kind of spam saber throw. You can just hold right click and she dies. The other way to do it is you go third person, same thing, and you just backstab her. Covert, my friend, called it the God Slayer. Either way works. The saber throw is a tiny bit faster, but it doesn't really matter. The backstab's probably a little bit more consistent. So next level, skip this cutscene as fast as you possibly can. For this one, you can skip it and then you can immediately vid restart, so that this door starts open, right? And so then you can do a jump up here. Quick save right there. And so then you have to do kind of a complicated jump onto this ledge here. And then it's another series of jumps onto these like little platforms. Like they're kind of complicated. Just practice them a little bit, you'll get it. And then over here, like once the cutscene ends, you have to wait till the cutscene ends. It just ended early for me because I skipped some of it. But you can then you just press these buttons, press all three of them, so you get that door open. Come over here, press this button, unlock the door. Come over here, get this health pack. Get the health pack. Okay, and then you want to jump down here. Push this trooper right here. It's an easier way to do this. Push him like that. Crouch. Push him again. So you want to make sure he hits this door. If you mess this up and you didn't have a quick save or something, like I don't know, you kill him on accident or something like that, you can instead jump over here and push this gonk droid or the worker. Like anything works. Even a seeker drone will actually work for this. Just make sure you don't miss the door opening. So like you can even skip the trooper if you want and just go straight for the gonk droid. You just gotta get this door open. That's pretty much it. So anyway, go through here, and it's very important you hit this door immediately. If you don't hit that door, like it's okay if you don't, but it starts a critical like elevator cycle that you really want to get going. So as soon as you hit this door, immediately go over here and start hitting these buttons. And just hit this one. You should have plenty of time. You can just walk over, pick this health up. And that'll summon some dudes, but you can just ignore them. But then you jump in here, jump up here, and so then that elevator should be falling right about now. If you got the cycle right. Sometimes you can get there early and it hasn't fallen yet, but that's where it should be. So yeah, once it goes past you, you have to do another seeker drone jump here. So let me just show that. I'm going to quick save here. So it's kind of hard to do. You essentially have to jump out and then deploy the seeker drone when you're kind of in the middle of the air, and then hopefully land on it. It's a little bit complicated, but you basically just have to hit it twice. If you have trouble with seeker drones, there's better places you can practice them, but this one in particular is pretty tough because you have to deploy it in midair, whereas normally you do it from a standstill. But luckily you only have to hit it twice. So you hit it twice, and then it gets you up here. Which then you can jump on this elevator, and let me just get that again. So then you get here. You can force heal here, use Bactas, whatever you need to. You kind of do need health at this point. So like, because now you have to do this jump. This is why you needed this gun in particular. You shoot, and then as you're falling, it does less fall damage for you. And the level ends. It's a little bug here, because like how the game calculates how you're falling, how fall damage works is dependent on like... This changes it so it's more of like an impact, like as if you hit the wall really fast rather than like falling. Because if I just fall, I die. But if I do this, then I don't die. Also, it's important you make sure you don't hit anything as you're doing this. Like, you have to fall directly down there. It basically treats it as if you're being launched by, like, the projectiles of the gun rather than, like, fall damage. Alright, as soon as this level starts, jump up here, mind trick that guy, go through here. It's all fairly normal stuff so far. Okay, so there's a pole jump you can do on this guy, which I never do. Regardless of whether you do it or not, you basically just want to get up there. You want to get up on this platform here. Jump up another stair. And then you go over here.
Do it.
Do it. Shoot like 3 times in here. Sometimes you have to do 4, because, like, depending on if you hit the middle or not. And then just jump down here. Do some jumps up here. There's a health pack there if you need it. Jump around these guys. Okay, so then here's another trick you can do here. So there's going to be an electric floor here, so you kind of have to jump around it, right? If you are good enough, you can jump on this guy's head and then jump up into the, whatever this thing is, the pod, like so. And then you can just skip this whole elevator sequence. If you can't do that, you kind of have to just jump around maybe take damage from the floor, but just take the elevator. It's much slower. Like, you could obviously do it smoother than I did there, because I usually try to do the other trick. But either way you decide to do it. You can also jump off this worker's head too, like depending on when you get in the door. Because he, like, if you watch him, he jumps on his own, and he actually goes a little bit higher than that trooper. But you have to time it correctly. So for me it's easier to just jump on the stormtrooper's head. There we go. Got it again. Okay.
The exit's blocked by the current.
Then you come over here, grab this health, and hit this button right here. You can hit that one if you want to, but you don't need to. Doesn't do anything. It just moves this platform out a little bit. You come up here, you go third person, and you kind of want to like roll on this guy's head if you can. It'll save you a little bit of health, which you're gonna need through the rest of the level. So jump up here, push this guy if you want to be safe, and you can jump over these mines, or you can quick save quick load through them. I guess I can show that real quick. There's also a secret drone here if you need it. Yeah, if you quick save quick load while walking into mines, it kind of just dodges them. The problem is sometimes you do it if you mess up the timing, like you'll get an outcast save where you keep dying over and over as you spawn, which you don't want, obviously. So be careful if you're gonna try that. It's easier for me to just jump over it. Anyway, you keep going this way. Jump on this lamp. Just jump straight into this door. This guy actually opens it for you. And if you can, like, try to kill him. Like, shoot him. You can just shoot him twice, and he'll die. Because otherwise he'll get in your way later, potentially. So just jump through here. Hit this button. Jump back. Ignore this guy. And there's two backups over here you can pick up. Because you're going to need health at this point right here. So just hug the edge of this wall, and then you can just crouch, roll. Like, as long as you're hugging the wall, there's enough room here, you can crouch forward and just avoid a lot of the damage. You come through here. You activate force speed right now, and you can just kind of just use your saber and kill these guys. You got to kill the guy in the back first, and then the one that's red. Just those two. Then this ATST will spawn. He's just kind of annoying. What I usually do is I kind of just let him walk out a little bit, and then I just jump around him. There's other ways you can do it. That's what works best for me. You can push this guy and he'll blow up the mines, or you can just kind of be careful as you're jumping down here. There's usually a bunch of mines down here, kind of like that. But that's pretty much it for that level. Okay, so this is Reactor. And so there's a few notes I need to tell you at the very start of this level. So first of all, when you get started with this level, I'll go ahead and just restart it now. You want to make sure you get moving right away. And depending on how fast you go, you'll either get the slow cycle or the fast cycle with this laser here. In that case, I got the slow cycle. You know you got the fast cycle if you see this laser going through as you're jumping through the start of the level. So I'll go ahead and restart this now. Okay, that time I got the slow cycle. So when you get the slow cycle, it's much better to just wait for the laser to pass through. And once the laser passes through, you just activate force speed. And you just jump through that hole like that. You have to crouch jump through it, jump over that laser, and press this button. And then you would proceed with the rest of the level. I'll try to show you the fast cycle instead, though. So this is the fast cycle. If you get that, you can just force speed right away. And just jump through like you normally do. And if you're fast enough, you won't hit the laser. You can do that if you get the slow cycle as well. But it's just much more riskier. You have to have perfect strafing. So if you get the slow cycle, it's better to just wait. But anyway, you continue on through the level like this. And once you get to here, you can grab those health packs back there if you're low like I was. You can, if you're probably going to be low on force and not just waiting to explain things like I am right now. But if you are low on force, you can do like a quick save, quick load to kind of save on force for these little jumps here. So now for this room, if you want to get up there, you can just jump on the platforms like normal and kind of hug the edge of them, because these laser things will turn on at random times and just kill you. I ideally, when you get up here and you just want to start jumping on like this one immediately, and just jump up to this door like this, and then the timing will just work out so the lasers don't kill you. And then just keep going through here. Hopefully you don't get blasted by these guys. You can pick up this health if you need it back here, and then just do a crazy jump off of here onto the pipes like that. You can do it much safer if you want to. Then jump up here and you can do one jump across this turbine here like that. It's a little bit safer if you like jump up here first and then you can jump over there. It's whatever feels safest for you. So yeah, once you get here, there's a couple ways you can do this jump. The safest way is to just jump onto this platform here and then kind of jump around over to this here. If you want to do it more risky, starting from back here, you can kind of jump off this edge and jump around and get up there like that. Alright, so the next jump is from here. You want to jump through that little opening up there. And depending on how fast you go through it, you can actually land all the way over on that platform over there. Usually what I do is just a safety thing. I land down here, and then you can just jump over. But I'll show you what it looks like when you actually do make the jump. Yeah, just like that, if you're fast enough. So now when you get to this part, you can avoid the troopers. I usually just kill them because it's useful to have them dead for the next trick. So you want to get up to there, right? So if you start your jump from like back here and jump off this wall like that, you can just do a really smooth jump all the way up to this pipe here and save all kinds of force, and you can then just start going up through here. I will say if you don't make the jump from here, it's not a big deal. You can just jump on the floor like normal. You'll use a little bit more force, but like it's not worth redoing that jump over and over, like a lot of tricks in this game. These guys, instead of pushing them like I just did, it's much better to just shoot them. And so from here, this room right here, you kind of want to make sure you're doing one big jump in between each of these sections here, and don't touch the big fan-looking things. And try to preserve force as much as possible. If you notice, I kind of jumped on the edges of the platforms there, and it gives you kind of more of a speed boost. And so yeah, I actually ended up getting into this room with like a full force bar. I'm gonna kill these guys real quick. Okay, so the next room here, you want to make sure you have a full force bar, like at least 90% of it. And so as soon as you open this door, I'll go ahead and save so I can show you. That platform in the back is going to start rising. But if you do force speed, it rises slower. So you want to do force speed, open the door, and go out, and do a strafe onto this robot here, and jump up here. Sometimes you won't get the Bacta. If you don't get them, you can like do a quick save, quick load, like this, and you'll pick them up. It's just kind of buggy picking things up on a moving platform like that for some reason. So now we're going to do a Seeker Drone jump. Other than Under Seeker, this is the biggest Seeker Drone jump in the game. And so there's a lot of different ways you can do it. A lot of people say to pull out like the thermal detonators because it gives you the most like kind of view around me. I doesn't seem to matter to me. I just have my saber out most of the time anyway, and I just do it with my saber out. So yeah, I line myself up to be about the second kind of, I guess, divide here in the platform. It's kind of hard to see. There's a little seam there. That's usually about where I stand. And so I just look straight down. I do a manual save and a quick save. Because doing a manual save, you can actually quick save mid-air in a Seeker jump if you need to, which can save you some time from having to do repeated failed Seeker drone jumps. So yeah, let's just get started with it. The only tips I can offer with Seeker drone jumps is to hold down space with every single jump. You want to jump as high as you can in between each jump because the Seeker will rise faster. And depending on where you land on the Seeker, it will kind of adjust where it moves next. So like if you keep landing in front of the Seeker, it will eventually like push itself underneath the bridge, and that's kind of a problem because then you'll just hit the roof and you won't be able to get up there. But yeah, so like let's just go ahead and do it. If you don't want to do the Seeker drone jumps, you can go in here and do the whole elevator puzzle thing, but you know, who wants to do that? It's speedrun after all. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. One other tip is to kind of launch it like high up into your jump instead of just like right away, because then it'll move less underneath you. It's a very difficult trick to pull off. Takes a lot of precise movement. And sometimes you end up too high like that and you take some fall damage, but that's okay. I still made it, right? Some people say you should like walk while you're doing it. You can do it by pressing shift. But you can do that. I don't think it really matters. You could just run, just press the buttons for less time. It's just gonna take a lot of practice. You'll just have to do that over and over again for hours until you get it. And I still even mess it up during runs, even though I've done it probably hundreds of times by now. So yeah, well, that's the end of this level. Let's move on to the next one. So, next level. This is the stealth mission. Before you get to the stealth, though, you have to go and kill this guy over here. There's a couple ways to do it. Mostly 2 ways. So, as soon as you get in here, this guy's going to spawn, right? So jump right next to this pit. And when he jumps, just pull him. That's the easiest way. And he'll just fall. And then that door opens. Another way to do it is with detonators. To kill him with grenades, you want to make sure he gets, like, knocked over, so you can just hit him with 3. It's a little bit faster than pulling him, but I tend to just pull him because it's much easier. And I would definitely recommend that for beginners. And once he dies, this door opens, you can just throw your saber at these guys, kill this guy however you feel like it. Come out here. Open the door. And I usually pull my gun out at this point. I think if the enemies see you in this area with your saber out, it's easier for them to notice you. And you press this button, hold down sound stop. Or at least press it. And do like a manual save right here, because you can very easily get caught and just ruin your run right here. I usually jump here, I jump on this box, and I jump over here. And I try to stay as far to the left as I can. Sometimes this guy over here, where is he? That guy notices you. It's fine if he does. But you want to mind trick at least this guy. Optionally, you can mind trick the officer as well, but at least mind trick this guy. Then you jump up here. Quick save here. Don't miss the jump. And jump here, and kind of jump before like the dip in that platform, like right there. Like right here. You want to jump like around here, because then you'll make it up there. Just fine. And just keep going up here. And that's the end of the level. You pretty much skip the entire thing. Okay. So for this level, if you don't skip the cutscene, you, like, all these guys will spawn, and it just makes it harder. So, that's if you skip the cutscene, whereas if I load in again, and we load into it, we do a vid restart, those guys will not be there. Like, they're not there this time. You can also do a cool little slide off that ramp, which is a little bit faster. Switch to your bowcaster at this point, and charge it up. Go left here, hit this button, and as soon as this door opens, like, you can crouch, you want to shoot this guy, and that'll just instantly kill him. Then shoot this guy with your repeater, come through here. You can quick save, quick load when a cutscene ends to get rid of the black screen thing. Optionally, if you have trip mines, you can place one right here with left click, not right click, which you'll need in a second. That's optional though, you don't have to do that. So then you jump up here, push this droid a little bit so he doesn't hit you. If he does hit you, it's okay. Doesn't really matter, but it's nice to not lose that health. So shoot this, kill him, open the door, go over here and pull. And then hopefully they went a little bit further than that. You can also then push them again and quick save before you hit this button. Because then if you hit it and you get the wrong droid, it's easier to just quick load and hit it again. Until you get the one that you want. So anyway, this is why we placed the mine here earlier, because you can use it to just do a quick little jump over there. It saves like half a second of the droid going around the platform. As long as you place it quick enough. If you take your time placing it, it's not going to save you any time. So anyway, you go through here. So hey, Future Katarn here. I want to add something to this droid section. When you're going through this, you want to see if you can trigger this door as you're going through the droid and just pull right back out immediately. Because if you do that, then the door just stays open. Which helps with the jump chain later. It's like a very minor optimization, but, you know, it does help. Actually, keep your gun out for this part. Go over here, jump over this pit, Don't go up there. Shoot this glass, and activate speed. This is known as 420 hallway, because all these robots try to drug you. If you get drugged, you can just quick save, quick load it to get rid of the effect, so you can see. It's not a big deal if you do. And go over here. I just press both these buttons. I think it's the right one that you need. Lifeless can correct me on that. But it's pretty easy to just press both of them. That'll activate the trams to the right there, and so once you're... At this point, you're just waiting, so you might as well just heal. Get all the shield you can. Just keep your saber out and you'll block all the bullets. It's no big deal. And then, yeah, just go in here. Just keep using force heal. There's no reason not to. Because at this point, you're just waiting. It's just a big waiting game. So then you go over here, kill this officer. Get his key, open the door, and go. You can go left or right, doesn't matter. The place you want to go to is outside this window. It's right there. So just keep that in mind. So if you go out to the left side, you go to the right, basically. So go over here. And so now there's this part of the game.
Some kind of code.
The best way to do this jump is if you jump like... You do like a chain like this one, kind of. And that'll get you over here, because this is the first button you gotta press. If you can't do that, you can just go down here and just do it a little bit slower. So press that button, jump over here, and you can jump down here, press the second button, and then jump up again, and then the last one is up here. Very easy. And then you just jump back up. Alright, so Future Katarn here again. Something I want to add to this, instead of jumping the way I did before, if you want to do this a little bit faster, you can either use the flechette or you can just kind of drop. So here's the dropping strategy. You kind of just hit this platform there. So there's no jumping involved. You just leave your space key alone. It's a little bit faster. Other way you can do it is you use the flechette. As long as you're not stuck inside a cutscene, you can just jump like that and you can hit it much faster. So yeah. Press this button. Now, you should have enough force at this point. You can just jump up this platform. You don't have to wait for the elevator. Then you have to go through and you press all the buttons again. Good old space telephones.
That should do it. Come on, rogues. Hope you're listening.
Another option with that area is you can use like the trick I showed earlier. Where you use the flechette and like boost yourself off the ledge, and so you take less fall damage, but you don't really need to do that. But that is something you can do in that area. Okay, here's Doomed Detention. This is the space jump level, which you'll see in a minute. So just jump through this. And don't bump into things like I'm doing. And you can push this guy, depending on where he is, and he'll open the door a little bit sooner for you, and so you can get more speed that way. Always pull this guy so you get rid of him, because he has rockets and he can kill you. And I usually pull out the repeater, shoot this guy, shoot this guy. And then you have to go hit this. Only the blue button matters. This button doesn't matter. But I hit him anyway, just because. Then once you hit that button over there, come out here, or actually both sets of buttons. Shoot like 3 times. That's usually enough. And then you want to, like, quick save there, speed and hit this button, and then get out here as fast as you can. You want to crouch, and you kind of want to, like, look at this door that you're coming out of as you are, like, strafing to the side, kind of, and you'll land out here. Don't quick save when you're out here like I just did. If you want to quick save at this point, you need to do it like as you're landing, because when you quick save in this game, it actually kind of advances time a little bit. So it's not good to do it. It's not good to do it like out there, because you kind of need force speed for as long as possible at that point. Okay, 2 shots. So anyway, doing it again. You can save like right there if you need to, but then you just kind of do like 2 quick jumps here, land out here, and you get in here. If you try to like, you kind of have to just ride the wall here as the door is closing, otherwise it'll just suck you back in and just waste time. When you're out here, like to make this jump across to the other platform, the other edge, you have to like, you have to do 2 jumps here. What I usually do is I go left, right, and I just kind of think that in my head, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and it usually works for me. You'll just have to practice it, and if you don't get there fast enough, you die. So you have to get there fast enough, you have to make the first jump, and try not to use all your force. Like, for these first 2 hops, try not to use all your force on them, because you kind of need all of it to get over there and be able to make the jump into the hole here. Sorry, that's Spaceman. So I'm just gonna keep going here. Jump through all these guys. And blow up this vent here. Don't shoot yourself like I just did. You can blow up the ceiling like that. It's a little bit faster if you like get it in the right angle, then the ceiling gets blown up with the vent. Pick up this guy's security key. There's a rocket trooper in here somewhere that always messes with you. You kind of just have to hope and pray he doesn't kill you. Like sometimes he just shoots into the ceiling here and kills you. As you're going down the elevator, you can heal, but ideally you want to switch to strong style at that point with your lightsaber, because you're gonna need that in a second. Another option here is you can shoot this guy with your balls, with the full shotgun. Yeah, there we go. Like he can do a little boost. It's hard to pull off. Anyway, assuming if you can maybe get that boost, that would be nice. You come out here, save here, quick save, and do force speed. And so how you want to kill this guy is you want to do a quick draw. So how that works is you sheath your saber by pressing 1, and then immediately left click while walking forward. It doesn't work as well when you're like blocking bullets, so you kind of have to act quick. But it instantly one kills pretty much anything. And just run over here, do the same thing to this guy, and then kill this guy. Come over here, mind track him, and jump through this. And so here's the next part. How cutscene skipping in this game works. When you press E to skip a cutscene in this game, it actually just fast forwards the whole game a little bit. So we can use that to kind of just skip just enough of the cutscene so that we only have enough that we actually need. Because during this cutscene, these doors are open. If we skip the cutscene, they'll be closed, and you have to do a whole like double switch puzzle with Jan and everything. But the cutscene's also very long, so we want to skip just enough of it so that the doors are open, and we can get through without having to wait for the entire thing to end. So what you do is you kind of just go up to the button, do 1, 2, 3, and then vid restart, and then do sound stop while you're doing all this as well. Just kind of mash sound stop or hold it down if you want to. As long as you get out that door, and if you have the right timing, the cutscene will end as you reach the end of the level. The end of the level was at that door right there. So that's that. This level is also very easy because of a certain skip. Normally there's like a boss fight and everything, but if you have a secret drone and you just come up to this door and plant it, the level just ends. That's pretty much it. If you mess that up though, like, let's say I quick save or something. Oh, I had to load the quick save. If that happens, then that's not going to work as well. Like, I'll plant the seeker, the level doesn't end. You can still do it, you just have to do it in a different way. You kind of just have to, like, you crouch at the door and, like, hug it a little bit. And then it works. It's just much slower, so try not to reload that level. If you do it the first time through, it works just fine. Anyway, now we're on the swamp. It's very movement-heavy level. This one, there's just a lot of different ways you could go about it. This is how I do it. You kind of just gotta practice the jump chains. There's a back to there if you want to get it. Crush through here. That chain is actually kind of ideal. I usually don't do that well on this. So you get up here. There's a couple ways you can get around this. What I usually like to do is I jump down here, get the little boost from that ledge there, and just kind of jump around here. Jump over here, and don't land in the water, because that will slow you down. And then jump to the left of this pillar over the cliff there, and then you can jump through here, and then just like that. If you want to, you can like shoot up at this guy, and sometimes he'll push you like that, which gets you to the end of it. But these guys, they can sometimes just kill you like that just happened right there. Anyway, let's try this again. Shoot up like up at the ceiling, I guess. And then he'll like sometimes push you. You don't have to do that, it's completely optional. Like, in fact, I probably wouldn't even try that if you're brand new to this game. But yeah, just try to save your force here, just jump along. So there's... Usually what I like to do is I jump off that rock there, all the way up to here. And you want to have like half your force bar at this point. So then you jump up here, do like a double jump. And you want to jump like between those two rocks up there, because if you don't land on anything, this is the end of the level right here. You don't take any fall damage when you're falling down here. It really helps when you're low on health like I am right now. And no fall damage. If you do land up there, like you have to heal, use Bactas, whatever, then you just take damage. But you can still end the level. The other option is you go around. Like, let's say you didn't make it up there, you can just go around the normal way. You gotta kind of deal with an ATST, but it's fine. And just do it the normal way. But I like that first method. So this is Canyon, another very fun level. So what I like to do is I go left here and just jump along the left side. There's a lot of little ledges and slopes you could figure out here that help you gain speed. Try to jump on this thing so that you can jump up on this cliff. Like over around that cliff. Like, you can really optimize this level if you know what you're doing. There's a lot of little slopes and stuff you can jump on to really boost your speed, but jump through this cave. If you're good, you can get out of that cave with like 700 speed, but I'm not good. And try to save your force here. But just do a bunch of little hops at this point. Ideally, you'd have much more speed than I have right now. Jump on this rock. If you're out of force here, you can like quick save, quick load, and it'll make your jump go a little bit higher there. Okay, courtyard. Very simple level. Still pretty movement heavy. The only trick I have really for this one is as you're getting in here, you can press the S key a little bit so you can land on that platform up there. Jump past these guys. Okay, like quick save like here, and now you just have some saber fights here. You can use force speed if you want to, but you basically just have to kill 2 of these enemies. So just use your quick draws. Just kill them as fast as you can. Sometimes they don't like to die. As soon as 2 of them are dead, you can jump up here and wait for that rocket trooper to shoot him. Then you can jump up here and go through this. You want to jump down here, jump through all this, and hey, we're back to Yavin Trial. Not really, though. There's going to be a cutscene right here. You can skip a little bit of it if you want to, but just load into it. This means you can skip like a Shadow Trooper fight that you really don't need to do. And Desan just opens the exit for you, and next level. So this one, just pull out your repeater here, and you can kind of shoot that on your way down. You really don't need health at this point anymore, so don't worry if you take damage. So then, here's a trick here. There's like an illusionary wall right here. There's a couple ways you can do this. The easiest way is to do like a manual save, do a hard save right here. And use force speed, and at the top of this you'll get like a boost. Just like that. And if you quick save, quick load at the top when the boost starts, you'll just zoom right past all that. Let me show that again. So force speed, jump, quick save, quick load. Easy. Skip that cutscene, you go over here, and this is the only part of the game where lightning is potentially useful, but you could also just shoot this thing. Shoot it with whatever gun you want. Like, some people use the bowcaster, and just shoot it as they're walking. You can also use lightning if you want, which I'll show in a second here. I gotta remember what my lightning key is. It's this one. Lightning works as well. That's like the only time in the whole game you use lightning. But yeah, just wait for the fire to go through. Come down here, push this. Push this. Okay, so this part's a little bit tricky. I just walk past the first one usually, and then I wait for the second one to go through, and then I force speed and kind of jump through the rest of them. Not much else to that. And then this is a disarm fight. Quick save, force speed, quick draw as you're following. And if you miss the first one, the second one will kill him. That's pretty much it. That's the whole game. Alright, so that was the end of the video. If you guys liked it, I would appreciate it if you at least left a like. I'm not expecting everyone to subscribe. I do speedrun stuff here, I do challenge run stuff, I do a lot of casual playthroughs as well. Also, I will be making another video on tricks like the mouse droid skip here, and minecart skip, and all the harder tricks in the game that, you know, some of them I can't even do, but I can at least explain some of them. But that will be a second video. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys all next time.